The First World War erupted in the summer of 1914, a conflict that would engulf nations and reshape global history. At the heart of its opening moves lies the First Battle of the Marne, a pivotal confrontation that shattered illusions of a quick war and set the stage for years of grueling stalemate. The story of the Marne is one of strategy, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of nations under siege. Today, we're delving deep into the intricate details of this monumental battle, the strategies, the leaders, the mistakes, and the heroics that turned the tide of the German advance. Buckle up, because this journey into history is one you won't want to miss. The events leading up to the First Battle of the Marne are as critical to understand as the battle itself. By late July 1914, tensions in Europe had reached a boiling point. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary by a Serbian nationalist had set off a chain reaction of alliances, drawing major powers into a conflict that many believed would be brief. Germany, under Kaiser Wilhelm II, executed its war plan with surgical precision. This plan, known as the Schlieffen Plan, was devised to avoid a two-front war by rapidly defeating France in the west before turning to confront Russia in the east. The Schlieffen Plan was ambitious but fraught with risks. It required the German army to sweep through Belgium, a neutral country, to bypass France's heavily fortified eastern borders. The violation of Belgian neutrality provoked outrage and brought Britain into the war. However, the German advance was swift and relentless, driving deep into France by early September 1914. Paris itself was under threat, and the French government prepared for evacuation. It seemed as though Germany's bold strategy might succeed, but as the German armies advanced, cracks began to appear in their plan. The rapid movement stretched their supply lines to the breaking point, and communication between units became increasingly difficult. Furthermore, the German High Command, led by Helmuth von Moltke the Younger, began to deviate from the original Schlieffen Plan. Instead of keeping their right flank strong to encircle Paris, they shifted forces to the east to confront a growing Russian threat. This weakening of the western flank would prove decisive. On the Allied side, chaos reigned as France and Britain struggled to coordinate their efforts. French Commander-in-Chief Joseph Joffre faced immense pressure, with much of his army retreating in disarray. Yet Joffre's composure and methodical approach would become crucial. He reorganized his forces, replacing ineffective commanders and rallying troops for a counteroffensive. At the same time, the British Expeditionary Force, BEF, under the leadership of Sir John French, played a vital role despite being significantly outnumbered. By early September, the stage was set for a dramatic confrontation. The German First and Second Armies, commanded by Alexander von Kluck and Karl von Bülow, respectively, were advancing towards the Marne River, just northeast of Paris. Meanwhile, Joffre and his staff were finalizing plans for a counterattack. The Allies' strategy hinged on exploiting the overstretched and weakened German right flank. On September 5, 1914, the First Battle of the Marne began. French and British forces launched a massive assault, catching the Germans off guard. One of the most striking moments came when General Michel-Joseph Montgomery's Sixth Army attacked the exposed German right wing. Von Kluck, realizing the danger, redirected his forces to meet the threat, leaving a critical gap between his army and von Bülow's Second Army. This gap, a mere 30 miles wide, would become a focal point of the battle. The Allies quickly exploited this vulnerability. The BEF, despite initial hesitations from Sir John French, advanced into the gap supported by French forces. What followed was a brutal and chaotic series of engagements, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. Trenches hastily dug on the battlefield foreshadowed the grueling trench warfare that would come to define the war. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new daily videos. One of the most remarkable aspects of the First Battle of the Marne was the involvement of Parisian civilians. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, the French government requisitioned hundreds of taxis to transport troops to the front lines. This Taxi of the Marne operation became a symbol of national unity and determination. Though the taxi's actual military impact was limited, their psychological effect was immense, galvanizing French morale during a critical moment. As the battle raged, German forces found themselves increasingly isolated and overstretched. Von Moltke, operating from a distant headquarters, struggled to maintain control over his armies. Miscommunication and conflicting orders sowed confusion among German commanders. Meanwhile, Joffre's steady leadership and the coordination between French and British forces began to turn the tide. By September 9th, the German High Command realized that their position was untenable. Von Moltke reportedly remarked to an aide, "We have lost the war," a dramatic statement that underscored the significance of the battle. The Germans ordered a retreat, falling back to defensive positions along the Aisne River. The Allies, exhausted and bloodied, were unable to pursue effectively, but the German advance had been decisively halted. The First Battle of the Marne marked a turning point in World War I. The German dream of a quick victory was shattered, and the war descended into a protracted and brutal stalemate. Over 2 million men had fought in the battle, with hundreds of thousands of casualties on both sides. The fields of the Marne bore witness to unimaginable suffering and sacrifice, a grim prelude to the horrors yet to come. Beyond its immediate military impact, the battle had profound strategic and psychological implications. For the Allies, it was a desperately needed victory that restored hope and unity. For Germany, it was a sobering reminder of the challenges of waging a two-front war. The failure of the Schlieffen Plan forced the Germans to dig in and defend their gains, setting the stage for 4 years of trench warfare that would claim millions of lives. The First Battle of the Marne also highlighted the evolving nature of warfare. Traditional strategies and tactics, rooted in 19th century conflicts, proved inadequate in the face of modern technology and mass mobilization. The role of artillery, machine guns, and rapid troop movements underscored the need for innovation and adaptation. Leaders on both sides grappled with these challenges, often at great human cost. As we reflect on the First Battle of the Marne, it's important to remember the countless individual stories that form the tapestry of history. Soldiers and civilians alike endured unimaginable hardships, driven by duty, patriotism, or sheer survival. Their experiences remind us of the resilience and complexity of the human spirit, even in the darkest of times. The legacy of the Marne extends far beyond the battlefield. It serves as a powerful reminder of the consequences of war and the enduring quest for peace. The sacrifices made during those fateful days in September 1914 continue to resonate, shaping our understanding of courage, leadership, and the fragile nature of human progress. And that's the story of the First Battle of the Marne, a dramatic clash that halted the German advance and changed the course of history. If you found this journey through history as fascinating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into pivotal moments of the past. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay curious.